What's up? Back in the shop today, and the project, I'm excited about it, is the Aston Martin! Finally getting around to fixing this thing. Finally got the transmission cooler right down there. So, well, it's not gonna be today's project. This is probably gonna take a couple of days because it took me 4 hours to start this thing because the battery died. And you gotta charge it for a long time. But that's common on Aston Martin. So, here's how this is gonna go today. Or however long it actually takes. Gotta get the bumper cover off. Gotta get the fender liners off. And gotta get the under tray. Have you ever seen the underside of an Aston Martin? Let's take a look. What? If you can see that with that terrible shop lighting. So, under tray, 28 bolts, I think? 28 bolts to hold this thing in. It frickin' sucks. It takes forever to get this out. Even better, the rubber plastic fender liners are like 32 bolts. Why, Aston Martin? Why? What were you thinking? It's gonna be like 80-something bolts to get this thing off. All right, so anyway, gonna get the fender bumper cover off, gonna get the fender liners off, gonna get the under tray off, and then see what we're working with. And I gotta change. This isn't gonna work at all. All right, be right back. That's better. All right, let's get started. Just what does an Aston Martin transmission cooler and hose look like? Well, about like that. So that is what $1,300 of Aston Martin transmission lines look like. All because of a little leak. All right, let's get started. At this. By the way, it's 34 bolts. 34 bolts. All right, panel's down. So let's see what we got going on here. You can see here we got the factory transmission lines going into the transmission cooler. These two big lines go all the way back. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right to the frickin' ZF HP 26 automatic transmission. Yeah, we'll get the automatic transmission. So these little clamps is where I can actually disconnect this. So we got to route this guy over here, which I'm hoping, dear God, please don't let that be that big of a deal. Okay, so that's two. I actually have never done this before. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. But it looks like, okay, so this is actually two parts. So this is actually 4 of our 6 hoses that go up into the bumper and into, well, that's the power steering cooler. I guess we got to keep going. Not really sure why I've got to take off the fender liner. And it probably has to do with the airbox. Well, let's keep going, see what we find. And I've actually got to fix this headlight too, so if I don't have to take off the fender liners, at least I can fix the headlight after I find out that I've screwed it up. Yeah, you'll see. I was wrong. It's only 17 bolts, although some of them overlap the under tray. So if I was just doing the under tray, it'd probably be, I don't know, 22-ish, but yeah, 17 bolts. Really? I remember that being a lot harder the last time I did it. Okay, so the headlight that I'm fixing is right here, because one of the brackets is kind of broken, you can see. So I had it fixed once, and I had some paint work done, and it came back kind of like that. So might be pulling out a headlight while we're in here, just, you know, bonus. I just figured out why I gotta take the fender liners off, because I'm an idiot. You need to take the fender liners off to get the bumper cover off, because the bolts, I don't know if you can see that, those, I don't need that light, those are the screws right there. Those are the screws that hold the bumper cover to the fender. You gotta take the fender liner off to be able to get to those screws in order to get the bumper cover off, in order to get to the transmission cooler. And you got flashlight. That, oh God, this is hard. That is the air filter box. It's a pain in the to get off, and pretty sure you gotta get those off too. We're gonna be here for a while. Why do I never have enough magnet trays? Hey, I found the missing piece of my headlight. All right, so I got the other fender liner off. You didn't need to see that twice. These hoses are way worse than I thought. Look at this. I know that's gonna be hard to see on camera, but holy crap. Holy crap. If you got an Aston Martin, just go ahead and order these hoses, because damn. Damn. I've never done this before, but supposedly there's a clip that you get to with a long screwdriver. this is a really stupid design. So it's not 2 clips like the factory service manual says. It's 6 clips, 4 of which are in the grill. Why? God. What a stupid design. Alright, where am I going to put this? Oh my God. That's why I've never ever taken one of those off before. Alright, so I got the bumper cover off, and I got the Ford Fusion grill off, which, by the way, apparently this car's been wrecked before because this plastic piece is all broken. You know, of course, I find the one friggin' spot that's not broken. There you go. It's broken. Broken. So, apparently, this car was in a little fender bender, which I kind of knew about. So, haha! God, this car is ugly when you take all that stuff off. Okay, so here's the power steering cooler. Pretty sure that's a power steering cooler. I don't know, I called the engine a transmission earlier because the transmission's in the back of the car. Anyway, right back here is the transmission cooler that we need to get to. So, I gotta pull a couple more things off. Here, and see if we can't get to it. So, I will be right back. That was fast. Eh! I could finally friggin' see it. By the way, in case anyone's ever wondering, these are fake. They sit right in front of the airbox, and they're completely fake. What Aston Martin does is has these scoops here in the corner of the Ford Fusion grill, and it goes from the corner of the grill down right here into the airbox, but that hole in the bumper that's fake sits right here. So why wouldn't Aston Martin just use the hole in the bumper? Because I still can't get those off, and they're in the way of everything. I don't know. All right, so God, I really got to do something about these shop lights. 4 bolts, and things should come out. Wonder how much transmission fluid's left in here. Wonder if I'm gonna make a mess. I'm gonna make a mess. That's not a good sound. Well, it's out. So, cool. I don't think I've broken anything yet. I got the lines loose, they're draining, and I could have sworn I must be losing my mind, because I feel like I had 6 hoses, and there's 4, which is exactly how many I need. I could have sworn that there were 6. I've been wondering where the other 2 went this entire time, and I think it's late. I probably need to go do something, but hey, this is working out well. So I just got to figure out how in the heck to get these lines out, because they snake up over the cross member and then that cross member and out here. But I think that's probably why Aston Martin does it. Oh my God, is that why Aston Martin did it? Did they do something right? Maybe I should see how this goes before we figure it out. Okay. Yes. All right. Well, let's find out. No. No. They don't. This is gonna suck. Well, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the transmission lines go between the motor mount and the steering rack and the frame and the oil pan. So, like, that's as far as they move. So I'm gonna figure out what I need to do to get these out, and I'll be back. Motor mounts. Just gotta take off the motor mounts. Well, not even really take them off. Honestly, you just gotta lift it up. It's really not that bad. I'm just a complainer. So yeah, take that bad boy, take off a couple of bolts, which, by the way, were kind of loose. Feel like I should be concerned about that. But yeah, lifted it up until I heard crunching and stopped, and they came out. So time to put new lines on. All right. Very important, put them on facing the right way. Don't want to make that mistake. When you do this on your Aston Martin, that goes forward. Really? Oh, Chinga! Game of Tetris where everybody loses. Woo! Oh, don't hit the camera. Huh. It's bigger than the hole. Oh. Huh. Well, that's obviously different. Fabrication. Whoa, jeez. Pretty, it's so pretty! Lord. I feel like I always look angry when I work on cars. Like my brows are always... It's my concentration face. So something I didn't notice until just now, when I ordered the lines, because the line blew up, and that's where all the transmission fluid went. So when I ordered the line, the parts guy said, "Do you want the cooler as well?" And I said, "Do I need the cooler? How much is it?" "You really should get the cooler, because they leak a lot too. It's $1,300. Fine. Sell me the cooler too. So anyway, this whole time I've been wondering, do I really need the cooler? Did I just get taken for like $700 or $800? Was that just the parts guy's way of, upping his commission? No. The answer is no. So I just noticed this. Here's the old cooler. And this is actually a stamped... God, the lighting in here sucks. I'm really sorry. This is basically just a core, hey, what do you know, with a stamped tank on it. So this is built basically just like any other radiator on any other cheap car. The new part, it's actually like CNC billet. I mean, this thing's freaking nice. So evidently, Aston Martin realized that that was a problem, and they upgraded the design. This is actually an 05. This is one of the first years that Aston Martin built the DB9, and 06, 07, they made some upgrades. By the time they got to 2009, they had pretty much figured a lot of this stuff out. So this is the first generation suspension, first generation sound system, apparently first generation oil cooler. Wonder if that had anything to do with it. But anyway, just thought that was neat. All right. Back to wrenching. Just kidding. I actually needed to attach the clamps to those hoses, and I didn't have the tool for it. So I had to go buy one, but it was already after 9 o'clock, so I couldn't do that. So that's where I stopped on day 1. Now, come back on part 2. For the second video, I do finish the Aston Martin. I do go out and buy a tool to clamp those hoses down and put it all back together again. So check out part 2, see how it all turns out. Appreciate it. The video, I'll put a link somewhere up here, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this. I am not going to promise that I'm going to give you regular updates, because I'm not. It's going to be really sporadic. But if you want to see more projects like this, we've got the Moon Buggy, we've got the Jag, the Range Rover, I've got a couple of the race cars. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and as I work on some of my cars, I'll do more videos like this. Appreciate it. See you next time.